I will explain about use of ICT in English language teaching and learning. The first, information and communication technologies in ELT. Nowadays, teachers of English around the world prefer some form of communicative teaching and learning, rather than the traditional methods of ELT which dominate the teacher-centered approach and neglect the students' communication skills. The teacher-centered approach depends mainly on the learner's memory and did not care about the authentic use of language. Although a successful EFL teacher is not necessarily restricted to one method or another. The ICTs have changed the path of teaching strategies to suit the goals of his materials and the needs of his students. On the other hand, ICTs have given the students many opportunities to practice English in and out the classroom. With the help of the modern technologies, they have time and freedom to understand, reflect, and analyze what have been exposed to. Moreover, the ICTs put forward an influential base for efficient education. Now, we need the modern technologies for a better blended method of delivery to create application teaching technique to enhance the process of learning language. ICTs are very motivating because they help the learners to learn the language, which is carefully designed to meet the prescribed goals. The impacts of ICTs on ELT. Positive impacts on ELT. The following are some of them. The first is availability of materials. The second, student attitudes. The third is autonomy. The fourth is authenticity. The five is help teachers. The six is student center, and the last is ICTs in self-assessment. We'll explain about the impact of ICT. The first is availability of materials. ICT are very stimulating because of the availability of the learning materials, whether it is computer-based, in the web, or on CDs. Therefore, the student can learn at his own pace with a very patient tutor or the machine. Meanwhile, the use of online telecommunications for teaching and learning via the computer in the classroom across the world will consolidate the improvement of different academic skills. The availability of image, animation, audio, and video clips, they help much more in presenting and practicing new language. The second is student attitudes. ICT have positive effects on student attitudes toward the language teaching and learning. Students felt more successful in school, were more motivated to learn, and have increased self-confidence and self-esteem when using computer-based instruction. This was particularly true when the technology allowed learners to control their own learning. The next is autonomy. Students have the opportunity to choose the elements of language which they want to focus on meeting their learning strategies or learning styles. Here, the learner-centered approach is supported by these facilities offered by the ICTs, while the traditional techniques technique approach fail to give such opportunities. The student feels free to practice the language without fear from the others at their own pace and pace. The next is authenticity. ICTs provide authentic learning environment because the learner can interact with others across the continent are very motivating to the language learners. Confronting such challengeable situation is the touchstone for using the language in authenticity, not artificially. The ICTs as tool for learning are very motivational. However, they are very attractive and accessible. Help teachers. ICT help the teacher to prepare, produce, store, and retrieve the materials easily and swiftly. The availability of different rich texts, different topics, quiz, exercise help in saving the teacher's time. Despite the opportunities and facilities offered by the modern technologies and assisting better teaching, but they do not replace it. So far, the skillful teacher is the only person who is shouldering the responsibility of delivering and achieving the teaching goals. The next is student-centered. ICT help the student be exposed to language clockwise and definitely they help them to write and edit their work in order to produce well-published work. Likewise, computer encourage students to do extra work outside the classroom, play language games, and hopefully gain extra exposure to the language and improve their progress in the language and support the student-centered concept. Via the computer and the internet, the students will be able to communicate with others in different places. ICT in self-assessment. The examination generally tests the reading and writing skills of the students, totally neglecting the listening and speaking skills, which are indispensable skills for the learners in their future career. The listening capacity can be tested through computer-assisted package like listening to a dialogue or passage and answering the question, or listening to lectures and the answering short question or true or false statement. It will enhance their talent for taking international tests because many competitive exams follow such a pattern to test the grasping ability of the student. This material is multimedia. What is multimedia? Multimedia as a concept has diverse definition. Some scholars consider multimedia as a device that combines text with image. Stabler Seeds in Parfum and Rages considers multimedia as a device that incorporates text, graphics, animation, or real video into English lesson. Similarly, Chunjain refers to multimedia as encompassing text, graphics, image, video, animation, and sound together, and they are dealt with and controlled through computer. The application of multimedia in the learning and teaching of English creates opportunity for the teacher to bring almost real-life situation into the application of multimedia in the learning and teaching of English creates opportunity for the teacher to bring most real-life situation in the classroom. Multimedia can be used in different ways by teacher of English language in large classes. There are literature books, especially Shakespearean place that have video discs which teacher of English literature use to supplement their lessons. The problem militating against the use of these technologies is not only pressuring them, but many teachers have limited knowledge of how to use them. Video disc. There is three: teaching literature, teaching spoken English, teaching of writing. Teaching literature. Video discs contain authentic documentation that, if manipulated well by the teacher, will facilitate learning and teaching of English in large classes. This technology helps the teacher to bring almost real-life situation into the classroom. Interactive video discs are suitable for teaching literature. Okay, next is teaching spoken English. PowerPoint projector is also good for teaching spoken English. Documentation of formal speech or debate can be made on CD-ROMs. After the presentation, the student will be made to watch formal speech or debate on certain issue or topic that has been documented. This will offer them training in public speaking and expressing themselves in English language. As an activity, the large class can be grouped in order to have formal speech presented by each group or debate teams representing the groups. Doing this will widen the students' vocabulary as well as elaborate sentence structure. Next is teaching of writing. Students of tertiary institution where English is used as language of education study English for academic purpose or communication skill at entry point. Writing is one of the language skills taught at the entry point to improve the students' proficiency in English being language of education so that they can function well in their fields of study. The teacher can utilize PowerPoint projector and video discs to teach the different writing tasks. The students may be engaged in proper utilization of technologies in the teaching and learning of English. Change the teacher role from transmitter of knowledge as in traditional classroom to a consultant. Maybe just it from me. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.